Welcome children. Take out the English literature book. Longman Impression. Revised edition. Part 7. Chapter 7. January Night. This story is written by Premchand, adapted from the story Poos Ki Raat. Poos. It is an Indian calendar. It represents the coldest night from mid-summer to mid-January. The author explains about a single day in the life of a farmer who is in deep debt and is forced to pay taxes for his land. Now let's begin the story. With a heavy heart, Halku walked towards his wife and said, "The landlord come. Give the rupees you set aside. I will give him the money." Now, with a deep heart, Halku, who was Halku? He was a farmer. He walked to his wife and said that the landlord has come. You give the rupees that you have kept it aside because I will have to pay the taxes. Munni was sweeping the floor. She turned and replied, "But we have saved just 3 rupees. Just 3 rupees. Now Munni means Halku's wife. She was sweeping the floor. She turned and replied that, "But we have saved only 3 rupees. That is just 3 rupees. Her anger was evident in her tone. Now she was too angry. In her tone, it was quite angry tone she was talking now. "We have kept it to buy a blanket for the upcoming winters. How will we survive with these brutal wintry nights if we give our savings to him?" Now she asks that we have kept it. We have kept this money. Means Munni is saying, means Halku's wife is saying this, that we have kept this 3 rupees to buy a blanket for the coming winter. How will we survive this cold wintry nights if we give up our savings to him? Tell him that we will pay him after the harvest. We don't have anything for him right now. You tell the tax collector that we will pay the money after the harvest because presently we don't have the money right now. For a moment, Halku stood hesitating. January is the coldest month was here. Now, for a moment, what happened? Halku, he stood hesitating. Then, because he was thinking, because January, which is the coldest month, and it was approaching. With the blanket, he couldn't probably sleep in the field at night because without a blanket, he would not be able to sleep in the field that night. But the landlord wouldn't be put off. He did threaten and insult him, but he knew that the landlord, he would not listen. He would threaten him and he would insult him. Trying to coax her, Halku said, "Come on, Munni, give it to me." Now, trying to persuade his wife, Halku said that, "Come on, Munni, you give it to me. At least it will take the moneylender off my back. I will figure out some other plan." Saying that at least I will get rid of this moneylender and then I will find some other way. But Munni was angry. She said, "You have already tried." Now Munni, she was very angry. She said that you have already tried some other plan. Just tell me what other plan you have. Is somebody going to give you a blanket? Now Munni asked that, "You just tell me that what other plan you have. Is somebody going to give you a blanket? I am telling you, give up this tenant farming." Now I am telling you what you do. You give up this tenant farming. The work's killing you. The work, what it's doing, it is killing you. Whatever you harvest goes to pay up the arrears. Now, whatever you are going to harvest, it is going to pay you up. Where we want just to keep paying off the debt, where we paying just to pay the debts. Earn some money for your own belly. Give up that kind of farming. I won't give you the money I won't. Now Munni said that, where we want to only pay the debts, you earn some money for your own. You earn some money for your own stomach. You give up all this kind of farming. I won't give you the money I won't. Sadly, Halku said, then I will have to put up this abuse. Now, Halku, what he said? He said that then what he had to do, he would have to put up with his abuse. That means he will allow him to torture him. Losing her temper, Munni said, "Why should he abuse you?" Now, Munni lost her temper. She said that, "Why would he abuse you? Is this his kingdom?" Saying that why would he abuse him? Is this his kingdom? But As she said, her brows relaxed from the frown. Now, when she said this, what happened? Her brows relaxed from this frown. The bitter truth in Halku's word came charging at her like a wild beast. Now, the bitter truth, that means bitter truth here refers to actual truth in Halku's word. What it came just like charging her like a wild beast. She went to the knees in the wall. Now, where she went? She went to the knees in the wall. What is this knees means? It means a small hole in the wall. Took out the rupees and handed over them to Halku. She took out the money from the small pocket, small hole of the wall, and then gave it to Halku. Halku took the money and went outside. Now Halku, what he did? He took the money and went outside, looking as though he were tearing his heart out and giving it away. Now Halku, what he was looking? He was looking as if Halku was tearing his heart and giving away the money. He had just saved the rupees from his work piece by piece for his blanket. Now he had just saved these rupees from his work, that is piece by piece, is for his blanket. Today he was going to throw it away, and today he was going to throw it away. With every step his head sank lower under the burden of his poverty. With every step, what happened? His head was sinking lower because he was under the burden of his poverty, because he is so poor, he doesn't have money, and so he had to give up all his saving. A dark January night in the sky, even the stars seemed to be shivering. Now he was thinking, dark January night means very cold night. The sky, even the stars, which seems to be shivering during this time. At the edge of his field, underneath the shelter of a cane leaves, Halku lay on a bamboo cot, wrapped up his old burlap shawl. Now, at the edge of it, it was January cold night. Halku, where was Halku? He was at the edge of his field, under the shelter of cane leaves. Halku, what he did? He lay on bamboo cot, wrapped his old shawl, and was shivering. Underneath the cot, his friend Jabra the dog was whimpering, and under the cot, his friend was dog. His dog name was his friend, that was his dog. His name was Jabra. He was whimpering with muzzle pressed into his belly, with his head and nose pressed under his stomach. Neither one of them was able to, neither the dog nor Halku, both were not able to sleep. Halku cried up, drawing his knees close against his chin, and said, "Cold Jabra, didn't I tell you in the house you could lie in the paddy straw?" Now Halku curled up this, drawing his knees, and then he said, knees close against his chin, and then he said, "Cold Jabra, didn't I tell you in the house that you could have slept in the paddy straw? So why did you come out here? And why did you come out here?" Means Halku is asking all this to Jabra. Jabra means his cold friend, the dog. Now you will have to bear the cold. There's nothing I can do. His warning, Miss Halku is warning Jabra, the dog, that he will also have to bear the cold, because nothing he could do anything. "We will get through the night somehow. This is the reward you get for farming." Saying that what is happening, there is nothing that I can do it to, and what you will do, you will get through the night somehow, and this is the reward. What you are going to get, you are going to get for the farming. Jabra wagged his tail without getting up. Now Jabra, what he did, he wagged his tail without getting up. Halku reached out his hand and patted Jabra's cool back. Now Halku, what he did, he reached out his hand, and now he patted Jabra's cool back. Jabra looked at him with eyes overflowing with love. Now Jabra, what he did, Jabra looked at Halku with his eye. It was overflowing, means it was showering love on Halku. "You have to put up with just one more cold night. Tomorrow I will spread some straw." Now Halku said that one cold night, you will have to stay. You will have to stay like this, in this one more cold night. And tomorrow what I am going to do? I am going to put some straws. When you lie down in that, you won't feel the cold. Now when you will lie, means Halku is saying all this to his dog. Jabra saying that tomorrow when you will lie down, you will not feel cold. Jabra put his paws on Halku's knees and brought his muzzle close Halku's. Halku felt his warm breath. Now Jabra, what he did, he put his paws on Halku's knees and his nose and mouth just closed. And Halku, what he felt? He felt the warmth of his dog. Halku lay down and made up his mind that however things were, he would sleep now. Now what Halku did? Halku lay down. And what he made up his mind? Halku made up his mind that now whatever things may be, now what he was going to do? He would now sleep. But only in 1 minute his head began to pump. Now what happened? Within 1 minute, what happened? Halku's head began to spin. He turned from side to side, but like some kind of witch, the cold weather continued to torment it. But now what he did? He turned side to side, but some kind of witch means as he turned from side to side. What happened? He felt as if some cold witch, that is the cold weather, it was disturbing him because the cold wind was blowing and he was shivering too much. Whenever he could no longer bear it, he gently picked up Zebra up and patting him. Now what he did? When he couldn't no longer bear this cold, what he did? He gently picked up his dog, that is Zebra, and patted him. Got him to fall asleep in his lap. Now he made Zebra sleep in his lap. The dog gave off a stink, but Halku hugging him tight. Now what it did? It just gave a stink, but Halku hugged him very tight. Experienced the happiness he felt for months. Now both experienced the happiness they hadn't felt for months. Zebra probably thought he was in heaven and in Halku's innocent heart. Now Zebra, what he thought? Probably Zebra thought that he was in heaven and it was and Halku's innocent heart. There was no resentment of his smell. He embraced him with the very same affection. Now there was no resentment of his smell was coming. He embraced him with this very same affection. He would have felt a brother of a friend. Now what he felt? Halku felt as if he was with his brother or a friend. Suddenly Zebra picked up a noise of somewhere. Suddenly what happened? Zebra means the dog heard a noise of some animal. This special intimacy had roused a new alertness in him. Now this intimacy, what happened? You showed a new alertment in him. That dislaying the onslaught of the wind, approaching of the wind. Springing up, he ran onto the shelter and began to. Now what happened? He went up, he stood up, and then ran out and began to bark. Halku whistled and called him Zebra. Now Halku, what he did? He made noises and called Zebra, but Zebra would not come back to him. But Zebra, it didn't come back to him. He went on barking while he ran round through the furrows of the field. Now the dog went on barking as it ran through the furrows of the field. He would come back for a moment, then dash off again once more. Now the dog would return back for a moment, then again it would go off again at once. Now take out your diary, write chapter 7, January 9th, 3 pages, explain, homework, revise it. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.